Hey, it's Drea, and welcome to a full body recovery yin yoga sequence. For today, you will want a yoga strap, and if you have a strap, go ahead and unroll it to start and set it somewhere near your mat. If you don't have a strap, you may want to use a belt or a scarf. You might even use fitness bands as a replacement option. So find something that you can use. You'll wrap it around your foot at one point. You got some options, and let's make it happen. So let's take a deep breath here. You'll see me grab my phone in just a moment because I will be timing the holds of each pose for about a minute. And so throughout the practice, if you want to pause this video and hold a pose a little bit longer, please allow yourself to do so. Let's begin in constructed rest pose. With the knees bent, roll onto your back. Take the feet wide to the edges of the mat. Allow the knees to fall in toward one another. And a quick note about music, there won't be any music accompanied with this video, but if you like to play a chilled out melodic R&B neo soul playlist in the background, whatever music helps you chill out and just let go and relax, go ahead, pause the video, take a moment, put that on, and then when you're ready, set back up the legs and the feet, and we will add the arms by releasing them down into whatever spot feels comfortable. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Notice where any tension is arising in your body and take any small subtle movements that allow you to help to release. Tune in to your breath with a deep inhale and a nice long exhale. Feel your belly rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Now we will come into wind freeing pose. Lift both feet off the floor, resting the thighs on the belly. Place the hands on the shins. Take this moment to rotate the ankles in one direction and in the opposite. Show a little love to the low back, rock a little to the right, a little to the left. Begin drawing circles with your knees in one direction. And after that third circle, draw circles with the knees in the opposite direction. Connect with your breath here. Release both feet to the mat. Extend the legs. Fix your yoga clothes if you need to. Extend the arms. Take a full body stretch here, stretching the toes and the hands in opposite directions. And when you're ready, release and grab your yoga strap or belt or scarf or fitness band and bring the ball of one foot into the middle of that item. And hold the item with the same arm that's on the same side as the leg that's extended into the air. And so you can rotate between flexing the foot or pointing the toes. You might twist the ankle a little to the right, a little to the left. And just notice the sensations in the back of your leg here. I'm going to start the timer here for our 1 minute hold. So I hope you found that spot after flexing and pointing and twisting right to left where you want to hold for your minute, and gently awaken the hamstring, promoting the flow of blood and good energy up and down the back of the leg. Maximize the efficiency of your recovery by connecting to your breath here. With each inhale, imagine the breath moving from the hips to the ankles, And with each exhale, visualize the flow of the breath moving from the ankle to the hip. So now we'll transition to our next 1 minute hold. Again, you can pause the video if you want to hold a little bit longer. We'll come into half happy baby. So bring your knee towards your armpit. The thigh is going to be kind of parallel with the mat. The opposite leg, go ahead and stack that knee over the hip. Being mindful of the little muscle that connects both sides of the pelvis. Allow for tension to unwind in the outer hip and the inner thigh. Resist the urge to engage muscles. Let everything release and relax. Now we'll begin to move into our next hold by extending the leg out to the side, holding the strap in the hand on the same side of the extended leg. And notice the sensations in the inner thigh of the extended leg. Begin by relaxing the muscles. Notice the areas where you may naturally become tense. Release. Notice the sensations in your shoulders, hips, and face. Let go. Come back to your breath. Deep inhales and exhales. Bend the knee, beginning to swing the sole of the foot up towards the sky. Bring your strap into your opposite hand and slowly begin to allow the foot to fall across the opposite side of the body. So our IT band is a great space to feel the range between like 50% and 100% intensity. Yin yoga, we never want to start out at 100%. So you may just cross your body maybe like 6 inches. It's not that much, but you can feel the sensations in the IT band, the outside of the leg, the hip. Breathe into that tension. As the breath smooths out, it reflects the release of tension. And as you begin to feel that tension release, you may move a little bit deeper into the posture. You may bring that foot a little bit more across the opposite side. You may release the opposite arm and let it relax. If your body desires a quick spinal twist, go ahead and bring the leg down toward the floor and release. We are going to switch sides. Please feel free to stay where you are on your mat. I'm going to do a little bit of movement just for the video. So we're still on our backs. Go ahead and bring the ball of the opposite foot into the middle of your strap, belt, scarf, fitness band. And we'll begin again by flexing and pointing and rotating the toes, listening as the back of the leg awakens, and finding that spot where the hamstring really wants you to pause and hold for this minute. keeping the strap in the hand on the same side of the extended leg, releasing and relaxing the opposite arm and shoulder. See what relaxation you can find in the arm that's holding the strap. Come back to the breath. Come back to the visualization of the inhale, moving from hip to ankle, and the exhale, moving from ankle to hip. Now, lift the opposite foot off the floor, stacking the knee over the hip. Bend the knee of the extended leg. Grab the outside of the foot with your hand. Place the strap wherever feels most comfortable. Come into a half happy baby. The bent knee comes down towards the armpit. The thigh moves off to the side of the rib cage. Notice the sensations in the inner and outer thighs. Bring those sensations to feel like relaxation of the muscles. Let everything release and be. Go ahead and remove the bend in that knee. Extend the leg. Hold the strap in the hand on the same side as the extended leg. Allow the eyes to close and observe the sensations of the inner thigh. Notice where the leg is holding tension. Notice the spaces where you can release and relax. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Begin to bring a bend into the knee. Swing the sole of the foot up toward the sky. Grab the yoga strap with the opposite hand and bring the foot across the body around 6 inches or so. Observe the sensations here in the outer leg, in the IT band. Notice the sensations in your shoulders, your hips, in your face. What can you relax? What can you let go of? What tension are you ready to release? If you like to add in a quick twist, go ahead and bring that foot down toward the floor. I'm only bending my knee for lack of space in the video, so you can keep your leg extended if you like. And when you're ready, come out of your twist. Roll onto your back. Release the foot from your strap, scarf, belt, fitness band. And stretch the toes and fingers in opposite directions, taking a full body stretch. Now we'll come into crossed arms and crossed legs. Take a moment to acknowledge which hand is grabbing which elbow and which leg is crossed on top of the opposite. And as you press into your feet, ever so lightly, lengthen your tailbone. Ask yourself, am I expecting to do things perfectly? Can I accept myself and my body as I am, where I am in this moment? Take a few more deep breaths. Switch sides by changing the cross of the arms first and then the cross of the legs. Know that there is no pressure to be anywhere else other than where you are in this moment. Go into the mind and see if you can put yourself in the center. Breathe into the center of the mind. Release from the center of the mind. Be completely aware. Watch the breath moving in. Watch the breath moving out. Completely relax. Begin to uncross the legs and the arms, extend the toes and fingers in opposite directions, and take one final full body stretch here. Once you release, go ahead and make your way to an easy seat, however you like. So you can rock back and forth, you can roll to one side and push into your hands. Take any subtle movements that feels good once you come up to your seat. Removing tension from the neck, the shoulders, the back. Fix your yoga clothes, because they stay being in the way sometimes. And when you're ready, we'll come into a easy butterfly pose. Listen to your body at all times. Take any movements that feels good. Shake the head, left to right, up, down, side to side. As we get deeper into connection with our body, we start to become more aware of the sensations, of the tension that's present. So here in your butterfly pose, feel free to keep the heels as far away from the hips as feels comfortable. You're not really striving to get into the hips. It's more of a back stretch. So let the heels move away from the hips and keep the spine nice and long, stretching through the crown of the head. lengthening through the back. Push up to an easy seat. Bring the legs into a V shape. And then walk your hands forward for 1 minute hold in a wide leg forward fold. Remember in yin yoga that we don't need to start at 100%. So to begin, you don't have to release super far down to the floor in this forward fold. Yin works underneath the muscles in the connective tissues, the fascia that holds everything in. Our fascia can get tight, especially when we're working out. So to stretch and move the fascia, we hold the poses longer and slowly move into a deeper form of the posture. Let's gently begin to come out of this by walking the hands back towards the thighs. Bring the legs together and we'll hinge forward at the hips, taking a seated forward fold. Don't have to come super far, and you don't have to stretch the hamstrings here. Matter of fact, let's try to not stretch the hamstrings by bending the knees and hinging forward. You may even decide to bring the arms underneath the knees. Create an even deeper bend in the knees. Bring the back body just a bit closer to the legs. Feel the tension begin to melt away in the neck. Maybe you come a little bit deeper. And then we release, lift up, bring the legs back into the V shape. Flex the feet. And choose one side to hinge at. We're hinging from the side here. This is more of a side bend. Let the elbow come down towards the knee. You might grab the big toe with the fingers. Reach the opposite hand up towards the sky. It may want to start to fall overhead. It definitely does not have to though. But again, this is your body, so choose, give you options to choose from. We're not starting at 100%, so dial it down if it feels super intense. Hold in stillness. Smile. And we'll slowly, gently, and carefully begin to come out of this posture and switch sides. So hinging at the hips to the opposite side. Open the chest up towards the ceiling. Reach the opposite hand high to the sky. Option to interlace the fingers around the big toe, bending the elbow, bringing it down towards the knee. Option to bring the top hand over the head if you like, if that feels good, or keeping it pointing towards the sky. Not optional smiles. Not just kidding. Smiles are always optional. Breathe here, connecting with the inhales and the exhales. Observing where you feel this stretch. It might be low back. It might be hamstrings. You might feel it deeply in the side body. There's a myriad of options. Come back to the breath as we begin to release, bringing the crown up towards the sky. And we will come back into a Butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together. Again, the heels can be really far away from the hips. Slowly walk the hands down to the feet, hinge forward. You might rest the hands at the ankles, or you might wrap the fingers around the toes. And allow the back to round here. Don't hold anything. Release everything. Be in your body. Be in this moment. And at the end of the minute, we'll gently release out of it by walking the hands up the legs, taking the legs back into our V shape. And here we'll do a wide leg forward fold with a twist. So bring the chest in alignment with one thigh and bring your opposite hand to cross over the opposite ankle. So you're getting a twist, and you're getting some hamstring, and you're getting some back, and you might even be getting a little shoulder stretch here. Full body option. No matter where you're feeling this, make sure you are not starting at 100%, and instead allow the breath to allow you to move deeper into the posture, to maybe experience and feel some different sensations. Let's begin to release and switch sides. So align the chest over the opposite thigh. If you have a little bit more abundance in the midsection, feel free to lift it up and move it around. Create space in the body for you to hinge forward. Bring that opposite hand across the leg, opposite leg towards the ankle. The back hand really can rest wherever. There's no set direct instruction. Explore, decide what feels good. Bend the elbow, bring it down to the mat. You got options. But allow yourself to feel expansive here. Feel the body being stretched. Feel the mind completely letting go. Let's come out of this stretch. Coming back to that good old butterfly pose. Bring the heels together. And this time we are going to be intentional about getting into the hips for this minute hold. Again, reminder for all postures, if you want to hold longer than a minute, just pause the video. Come back whenever you're ready. But bring the heels a little closer to the hips this time. Interlace the fingers and wrap the hands around the toes. Your elbows may rest on the shins, or they may gently press into the shins to help you hinge forward just a bit more. Let your eyes close. Picture in your mind's eye the entire body. The bones and muscles settling a little deeper. The body completely relaxing. And when you're ready, Gently come out of this posture, press up to an easy seat, and we'll bring our legs into mermaid legs or a 90-90. It's not an exact 90-degree bend with each leg, but you get the gist. You get the gist. So twist the chest towards the front leg, front knee. Slowly walk those hands down the mat. Come to a fold. Your elbows can stay bent, or you can extend the arms if that feels good. Feel free to explore. These are all options, and everybody's body is different, so your body might want something different than the next person. But choose the option where you notice the tension, and when you choose that option, the body naturally releases. Begin to walk the hands back towards the hips. Take a counter twist, twist in the opposite direction. And now we'll switch sides. So come to mermaid legs with the opposite leg in front, bent knee in front, and the opposite bent knee in the back. When you're ready, bring the chest over the front thigh or just to the outside of the front thigh. Walk those hands forward. Hinge at the hips. Bend the elbows. Come down to your forearms. If the body is asking you to extend the arms, by all means, get into it. Yin yoga is ideal for finding stillness in postures. And yet, as you get deeper into your poses, you may find tension. You may find a lot of tension stored in the neck, a lot of tension stored in the shoulders, tension stored in the hips. And so if you ever have to take subtle movements to help you release and relax into the stillness, do that. Walk the hands back towards the hips to come out of this posture. Take a counter stretch, and we are going to release. Extend the legs nice and long, shake it out, however feels good. And then come to lay on your belly. So take whatever variation of Sphinx or seal pose that you'd like. Bring the elbows, if you're choosing Sphinx, bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. I'm taking a modifier here between Sphinx and Seal, where Seal pose, you let the legs come a little bit wider. You untuck the toes and press the toes down into the floor. If you're coming into a full Seal pose, you'll extend the arms, walk the hands forward towards the corners of the mat, and relax there. So I'm doing like Sphinx with the upper body, Seal with the lower body. Once you choose your shape, notice where you're feeling it. Appreciate the tension you may feel and work with the feedback the body is giving you. Now we'll move into a prone quad stretch. So bend one knee, bringing the heel closer to the glute. Reach back with the opposite arm and grab, reach for the ankle if you can. If not, the foot or the toes. Anything will help. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. And with this stretch, it can be a quad stretch. It can also be a shoulder stretch. Explore By pushing the foot a little bit more into the hand, you'll get more of a shoulder stretch. You can prop the head up in the opposite hand if you like. And if you want more of a quad stretch, you're bringing the heel a little bit closer to the glutes. You might add a little bit more of a twist into it or less of a twist. What is the body asking of you? Gently come out of it. Take any subtle movements that feels good. Switch sides. Reach for the opposite ankle with the opposite hand. Again, exploring. Do you want more of a quad stretch or more of a shoulder stretch? You may notice that one side is quite different. And that's okay. Take the shape. Let the body receive the pose. Refrain from forcing anything. And accept what's going on in the body and in the mind. Gently release the ankle from the hand. Begin to roll over onto your back for reclined twist. Bring the arms out to shoulder height. The knees are bent. You'll lift the feet off the floor and rock a little to the right, a little to the left. And eventually you'll choose one side to let the knees and the legs fall over towards. Your arms can be in cactus arms with the elbows bent at a 90 degree, or they can be extended out to the sides. If you like more intensity in your twist, and remember, we're not starting at 100%, so you don't need a ton, but if you're not feeling much, you can bring your knees closer to the arms to increase the twist. If you need less intensity, drop those knees further away from the arm. Allow the head to drift down the opposite arm to complete your twist from cervical spine to low back. You can rest a hand on top of the knees. Just come to a place of relaxation here. Soften in this twist. And when you're ready to come out of it, bring your gaze back up towards the ceiling. Rock a little to the left, a little to the right. And when you're ready, you'll drop both knees to the opposite side, finding an intensity that feels comfortable for you today. Completing your twist by bringing the gaze towards the opposite hand. And take a moment to tune inwards with the mind. Be mentally in your body here. See if your mind is with your body. And if not, where is it? Anytime the mind begins to race, see if you can name what it's thinking about. Are you planning, making a list, ruminating about the past? See if you can bring the mind back to this pose. Come out of this pose by bringing the gaze to the sky. Bring the legs up to the center of the body and extend them long. Take the heels wide, bringing them towards the corner of the mat, allowing the toes to fall out into to the sides, the arms and shoulders to release in the place that feels most nourishing for them. Take any final last subtle movements to settle into the floor here in Shavasana. Natural, normal breathing. Just observing how the body feels. Noticing how it may feel different than when you first started. So you can stay in Shavasana a bit longer and pause the video. But if you're ready to come out of it, bring the legs to touch the arms overhead. Take a full body stretch and release. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the mat. Roll to one side. Rest the head on the bottom arm. Finding a super nourishing and soothing fetal pose. The first yoga pose we ever knew. Press into the hands, rising to an easy seat. Take any movements that feel good. And we'll close out with the collective inhale by lifting both arms up and overhead, letting the palms kiss. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. May we share gratitude with ourselves and one another for showing up to our mats today. And we'll close out with our closing word of choice. For me, that's Ashe. Traditionally, in yoga, that's Namaste. Thank you all for practicing today. May we all be dope. May we all be well. Take care.